This is more of a bowel movement story, so I realize it's a little out of context, but comes out of you. So this is from the archives of Nine Inch Nails when we first started down the road. This will branch off now into two separate stories, and whatever that was, it doesn't matter. If it was mine, that's what yours. As soon as you go on the road, for some reason, your digestive tract goes into disarray. It might be road food, it could be nerves, it could be being away from home cooking, whatever. So,
use the bus toilet.
And you know what happens if you use the bus toilet. No shitting on the bus. You're allowed to pee, but you're not allowed to take a shit on the bus for some reason. I have not figured out why, and that's another horrible tale, which we won't get to right away. So we start off, we're touring in a van, and after about a week, you've got four guys with an average IQ of about 80, traveling around the country, and you resort to the only form of entertainment that you have on you at all times, bodily functions of any sort. So any flatulence is made out to be a 10-minute production of pre-moans and preparation and the glorious trumpeting of the actual act. So one day we're on the road. Our guitar player Rich has his feet up on the dash of the van. He had just finished eating a greasy pork sandwich, and he's starting to feel some gurgling occurring. So he begins the preparation of where you know something's coming. He braces himself, and he starts to let loose this glorious fart, but he suddenly stops and looks very concerned, in which he says, "Pull over, Marco," who is our road manager. "Pull over, Marco. I think I should shit my pants." So we think he's kidding, but we can tell now by the utter seriousness in his face that he has in fact shit his pants. It was a great change from emperor of the fart world to pull over. I just shit my pants. So we're driving along this highway in Florida somewhere, and the next thing that comes up is Wendy's. We pull over to the road, and he gets off the van, with his head hung low, opens the back door to get his suitcase out to get some fresh underpants, gets them out, walks into the bathroom, opens the door in Wendy's, goes in the stall, pulls his pants down, and sees three things: blood, onions, and brown goo on the inside of his underpants. So he takes them off, throws them across the room. They hit the fucking mirror of the sink and slide down into the sink, leaving a trail. He disgustedly wipes his ass, puts his fresh pants on, and leaves. The story has been come to know as the Blood, Onions, and Brown Goo Chronicles.
Thank you, Trent Reznor, for sharing.
You're welcome.
That incriminating story.
Yeah, it's the cardinal rule: don't shit on the bus. So what I did was, we had this is later in our career, we're big stars now, but nonetheless we're backstage. There's no toilet. I've got diarrhea. What do you do? Clean up. There's a crew bus and a band bus, so the only sensible thing to do was go on the crew's bus, shit on their bus, sneak out, and then wait for the fucking mutiny to happen. I didn't shit on the bus! What do you guys shit on this bus, and we're not leaving till you fucking tell me who took a shit on the bus? And I watched it happen, and I silently chuckled from the bus. The other time, this happened more than once. Only twice, though.
Well,
the second time, it's another one of those scenarios where there's really nobody around, so you could pull it off, but the crew bus wasn't around, so if I had to shit, it had to be on my own bus. So I heard this tale, somebody telling about shitting into like a bag.
I think I heard this tale.
I haven't told this to anybody. So it wasn't from me. Someone told me if you like put a bag in like a plastic grocery bag down in the toilet and then shit in that, it's kind of like shitting in the toilet. Just kind of watch the aim, and then you can like throw the bag out.
Onto oncoming traffic.
There's no windows in the bathroom, and we're parked behind a show. Same scenario where you have an option. You either go in the club where there's all the people there to see you and take a shit in the club, or you risk it out by a tree if there is one, but there wasn't. So the bus is surrounded, or it wasn't at this time. It wasn't surrounded. There's no one around, but still, let's see if this place is shit. I thought was the bus. So it's my bus, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll do the right thing. I could play shit bandit and just blame it on somebody else, you know. I figured, okay, I'll try the shit in the bag routine. I've got my accomplice, who I can't remember who it was at that time. Don't let anyone on the bus because I'm going to shit in a bag, and then I'm going to throw it out. So I take this shit in the bag, and it's like, I don't know if it's the fact that you're used to smelling your own shit as it plops to the toilet and then disappears under water. But this baby was like open air, and it was so fucking stinky. It was. I'm not sure if it was the fact that it wasn't in water, or if I just laid a serious rank log, if you will. So the thing's in the bag. It's stinking so bad. I imagine people outside the bus can smell it. I open the door. My friend who's watching the bus is like, Jesus Christ! And I'm like, I know it stinks. It's terrible. There's pee in there, and it's like, oh. If I try to throw this out, it's going to drip, you know. And now I look out the windows, and there's like people out there now, and there's just people backstage. Okay, what do I do? So I just fucking said, fuck it. And I grabbed out of the thing, pee on my hand, ran out the front door, dripping the whole way, took it and just threw it. And it went over a fence out onto the road. I go back on the bus. It just fucking smells like someone took a shit in there on the floor. It's terrible. So we just lit some matches and left and denied everything.
Not anything ever happened at all.
Really humiliating though, surprisingly humiliating. The one time I didn't choose to do that, and again, it's not like I'm shitting all the time, but if you're at a club from like, let's say 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. and you're nervous, you're going to take a shit. Which brings up the troubling prospect, where you're going to take that shit out. Because you demand a sanitary seat. Well, one time I remember we were at Detroit. 2 great shitting fields in Detroit. The best one though. I decide, oh no, I really have to take a shit, and I know there's no bathrooms backstage for some reason. The club doors opened about half an hour ago, so there's people pouring in to come see the show now. So the good bathrooms are in the club, so you have to go undercover into the bathroom, hopefully unnoticed, take a shit and get out of there. So I got a fucking baseball hat on. We're headlining, so everyone there would be, most people there to see Nine Inch Nails. Go in the bathroom, hat on, hair up. Good, there's stalls with doors. Excellent. Walk over to the very last one. The dude walks out, I get in, lock it. Excellent, great. Put some paper down, taking a growler, and suddenly, to my horror, boom! Fucking door comes flying open. I look up. Just like, oh, sorry, man. And then he turns around, and then he comes back and says, hey, man, you're Trent from 9 Inch Nails. And I'm just fucking hands on my knees, on my fucking elbows. Oh, man. And you're right. Hey, dude, it's fucking 9 Inch Nails that's taking the shit in here, man. I got fucking heads peeking over. Hey, dude. Love you, man. Will you sign this for? Just completely
beautiful.
Completely lost.
I hope that happens to me one day.
Imagination.